Hello, and welcome. I am Web Weaver, and I'm so glad you have found my channel here today. This is where I do a weekly tarot reading just to give us some guidance for the week ahead, what we can expect in the next 7 days, starting tomorrow, which is Monday, the 8th of June. And this will run through the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. So that is where we are. Just making sure everything's good there. Yeah, okay. I think we're even. Okay. All right, so as always, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. And I am using the Slavic Legends Tarot. This has kind of become my new go-to. Prior to that, it was the Witches Tarot, and I was using the Dreams of Gaia Tarot in my earlier readings. So I do still have those and may pull them out from time to time, but this one has become my go-to. Now, I do have a little book here that if we get any major arcana cards, which we didn't in the last reading, which was interesting, each of the major arcana cards pertains to a Slavic legend. There's an inspiration for it, and I have taken notes on them. So I have this book here in case we pull those cards just to get a feel for what the legend is. So if we do pull some major arcana, the reading may run a little over. So just be aware. All right. I hope you all have had a lovely week. Mine hasn't been too shabby, actually, and it ties into the reading last week with the, changes coming, good news, forward motion, all of that stuff, and then by today, there being more, a new announcement or new news or something. And last Monday or Tuesday, I realized that one of the places I had applied for a job, they had more posted in the positions that I'd be able to fill. So I went ahead and applied to those as well. And today, I happened to be checking my spam folder, and I saw where one of the people from that place had sent me an email that went to my spam and was telling me about those positions. So I responded back today just to let her know I had seen them and I did apply, and that her email had gone to my spam folder, but that they wouldn't from there on out. And apparently it's at a school, and the high school graduation was on Friday. So now that the school year is over, hopefully there's some movement on those applications, and maybe I can get one of those positions. So, all right. This is going to be for the 8th through, what did I say, the 15th? Yeah. Okay. What do we need to know for the week ahead? What's our message for this week ahead? What do we need to know for this week ahead? What's our message for this week ahead? What do we need to know for this week ahead? What's our message for this week ahead? What do we need to know for this week ahead? For this week ahead. All right, we're going to stop there. All right, so for Monday, we have the 8 of Coins. I believe we had this one last week, actually. The 8 of Coins has to do with applying your skill, applying your knowledge. You are almost at the end of a situation. So you can see that he is diligently working his craft. He's making these pentacles, right? So diligence, knowing his craft, knowing what he's doing, paying attention to the details. It is a work in progress, but he's almost done, right? So that is where we are on Monday. Things are a work in progress. We still need to pay attention to the details. We still need to work diligently. We need to focus. We need to apply our skills. But we are almost at the end of a situation. Successful completion. Okay, so that's where we are tomorrow on Monday. So then on Tuesday, we have the Queen of Wands. We're back to Wands again. If you recall, if you watched last week's video, we had quite a bit of Wands. We had a lot of fire energy last week. So the Queen of Wands, you can see she's very beautiful, very attractive, the long red hair. But the idea behind this card is that you can have it all. Home, family, magic, career, all the things you want. You just have to use your passion to go after those things. This is using your willpower, your inspiration, your creative energy to make things happen. It may require multitasking. It may require, putting your whole heart into it. But rest assured that when you do that, you can have everything you want. You just have to let that creative, passionate, fiery energy lead the way on Tuesday. All right, so Wednesday. Oh, we're back to Wands again. Goodness gravy. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. And you can see the man in the picture seems like he is being attacked. So this card is about aggression, defiance. He's defiantly standing against whomever is holding these wands against him. He's hugging two trees there. He's got his bear skin on. He has a conviction. He's running on adrenaline. He's facing a challenge. And if you look at his face, he's not exactly grimacing. I hope you can see that. I don't know where this is lined up at, but this card has to do with facing a challenge that you will enjoy. You get to put your skills to the test. You get to overcome obstacles, whatever it is that's facing you down. And you get to do it with your own wit and your humor, your personality. In one of the other decks, they give like a quote for each of the cards in the steampunk deck. And this one has stood out to me because the quote for this card in the steampunk deck is, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to kill for? Hypothetical questions, right? So this is facing down challenges with the skills and the personality that you have. It's a challenge that you will enjoy. You get to put your skills to the test and you are overcoming these obstacles. So while it looks like a card, it is you overcoming obstacles with your abilities. And it's something that you will enjoy. So Thursday, we have the Queen of Coins. So coins, as I have said before, has to do with the physical realm. So it's earthy. It could have to do with health. It could have to do with money. It could have to do with your home, your physical possessions. Pentacles is all about that. So when it comes to the Queen of Coins, this is kind of a mothery figure. The Empress is more the Earth Mother than this card, but this card also brings that to mind for me. It is a a card about being down to earth and resourceful and trustworthy, being a homemaker, providing that fulfillment in the home, someone who supports and nurtures like a mother would, but supports and nurtures the physical world, the resources, the finances. So Thursday is going to be a day of looking at how you nurture your home life, your finances, being resourceful, trustworthy, that homemaker image, even though that tends to be a feminine image, it doesn't have to be. That's just that is a programming that we have. So yeah, that is Thursday. Moving on to Friday, we have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is a celebration. Now I know that some readers, I watch Libby from Meister Tarot, and for her this card is a false victory. But in this deck, the people don't know, they don't look quite so unhappy. So for me in this deck, this is that victory card. This is triumph. This is acclaim, an achievement, being recognized. This person is surrounded by people. Let me make sure you can see that. Yes. Being surrounded by people. He's receiving recognition for what he has done. And it is a parade style atmosphere. People are cheering, they're waving banners, they're playing music. So it is the recognition of an achievement. It is having pride in what you've done. It's not like super prideful, egotistical, whatever. This is being proud of what you've done, celebrating your success. So Friday heralds some success in some way. All right, so Saturday. These cards stick together sometimes, so bear with me. We have, yeah, that's one card. Six of Swords. So swords are actually air. They are the air, element of air, the card for the element of air, which has to do with more thinky abilities, if you will. But the Six of Swords tends to be a gloomy one. If you look at the card here, they're on rough seas. They're in a small boat. The people here don't look terribly happy, right? So this card has to do with like being down, having the blues. It could be movement and progress, moving forward, smooth sailing. You can see there's not any crazy waves here or anything, but it's leaving a situation with help, possibly. But it does indicate movement forward, whether it's actual travel over water or travel in general, or if it's just a situation is moving forward. Doesn't mean it's an unhappy situation, but there may be some, even good change is difficult, right? Even change that has to happen, that you are told is for your highest, most beneficial good, can still be difficult. I'm dealing with that this evening. That's why I'm a little congested. 3 years in, and the move to where we are now is still, I still grieve. So, it could be just, change isn't always easy. You're going to have to get used to something new. But this is movement forward, improvement, smooth sailing, progress on Saturday. And then Sunday, not a single major arcana again. This is quite fascinating to me. Okay, so we are still with the swords, still hanging out with the swords here, but we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, very intellectual. All right, you can see the air blowing in the background because swords are air. intellectual, analytical, a just leader, obviously looking at all sides of the situation, very ethical. This card is asking us to use our wisdom, our independence, our intuition, our ethics, our ability to analyze what it is that we know. It can have to do with personal development in those areas. It could be that you need to maybe nurture some new ideas or systems, or nurture communication. Okay, air is about communication. So on Sunday of next week, a week from today, we are looking at using the powers of air, communication, knowledge, to nurture some new ideas, using our wisdom, our intuition. It's personal development. So not necessarily for somebody else. This is a good chance it's going to be personal development. So maybe there's some trainings you have to do, or something that has come across your desk or your feed or whatever that you want to learn more about. A new idea has popped into your head, so you're going to research more about it. I don't know. Something like that next Sunday. All right. I hope you all have a lovely week. I hope that everything that you want to have happen happens. I hope that these cards have been helpful for you, and I will see you next Sunday. Blessed be.